4, Stage 8, Lesson 117. Frequent.
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 Frequently.
Frequently.
Accent.
Accent.
Visit.
Visit.
What's the difference between the words frequent and frequent?
The difference between the words frequent and frequent is that frequent is the verb where you have the accent on the second syllable, whereas frequent is the adjective where you have the accent on the first syllable.
Okay. Do you frequent any clubs?
Yes, I frequent some clubs.
Which clubs?
For example, Armando, In Vitro, a few others.
Okay.
We know the Parker.
Do you pay frequent visits to your doctor?
No, I don't pay frequent visits to my doctor.
How frequently do you visit your doctor?
Last time I went to my doctor was 3 years ago, so not very, very frequently.
Okay, that's good. Attract.
Attract.
Attention.
Attention.
Attraction.
Attraction.
Pleasing.
Pleasing.
What's the best way to attract people's attention in the street?
The best way to attract people's attention in the street is to walk around wearing all blue, all pink, all yellow.
Okay.
Generally beard.
That's very effective. What are the main attractions of the place where you live?
The main attractions of the place where I live are that right next to my house they have a jaguar that scares me a lot, but they're shooting.
Okay.
But also beautiful scenery. Transmitting close by. No attraction.
Okay. What's the difference between a beautiful woman and an attractive woman?
The difference between a beautiful woman and an attractive woman is that an attractive woman may not be beautiful, but she does attract people's attention to her because she's interesting and pleasing to look at.
Okay. The rest.
The rest.
Do you care much about the rest of the people in the world, providing you are all right?
Yes, I do care about the rest of the people in the world, even though I am doing just fine.
Very good. Miserable.
Miserable.
Misery.
Misery.
What kind of things make you feel miserable?
The kind of things that make me feel miserable are winter, snow, rain, cold weather.
Okay. Which do you think is the most miserable place on earth?
I think there are many miserable places in the world, but one of them, for example, could be Sierra Leone.
Okay. Why?
Because people are starving, they got war,
Okay.
etc.
What do we mean by living in misery?
By living in misery, we mean being very poor and or unhappy.
Okay. Subjunctive.
Subjunctive.
The subjunctive can be used to express a wish. For example, God save the Queen. Long may she live.
Okay.
What's another use of the subjunctive?
Another use of the subjunctive is to express a wish.
Give me some examples, please.
God save Isabel. Long may she live.
Use of the verb to be.
Okay.
I am to have lunch with John tomorrow.
I am to have lunch with John tomorrow.
Very good. Subject plus verb to be plus infinitive plus the rest.
Alright.
Headmaster.
Headmaster.
Study.
Study.
Order.
Order.
Now that.
Now that.
We can sometimes use the verb to be when something has been planned or ordered. For example, I am to have lunch with John tomorrow.
Okay.
It means that John and I have planned to have lunch together tomorrow.
Okay.
Whilst you are to go to the headmaster's study at once means you have been ordered to go to the headmaster's study.
Okay.
The construction for such sentences is subject plus verb to be plus infinitive plus the rest.
Okay.
How can we sometimes use the verb to be?
We can sometimes use the verb to be when something has been planned or ordered.
Give me some examples, please.
Some examples are we are to go home at once or they will have lunch together.
Very good. What does this sentence mean? John was to have gone to London with his sister yesterday.
That sentence means that it was planned for John to go to London with his sister yesterday, but in fact he did not go.
Okay, and what does this sentence mean? Mother said we are to be home no later than 10 o'clock.
That sentence means that Mother has given orders that we must be home by 10 o'clock.
Very good. We can use the same construction in questions and in if clauses when we ask about what is possible or suggest what is possible as the result of certain conditions. For example, what am I to do now that I have no money? And if he is to arrive on time, he must hurry.
Okay.
In what other ways can we use the to be plus infinitive construction?
Okay, the other ways in which we can use the to be plus infinitive construction are in questions and in if clauses.
Very good. Give me an example of each, please.
For example, in question, whom are we to see when we get there? And with the if clause, if he's to visit White House, we must say so now.
Very good. Settle.
Settle.
Settled.
Settled.
Unsettled.
Unsettled.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Come on.
Come on, sunshine. Shine.
The other meanings of the word settle are
Not changeable.
not changeable.
To come to rest. And to give by law. To
Okay.
form together, to call.
Very good. What do we mean by unsettled weather?
By unsettled weather, we mean weathers that constantly changing from rain to sunshine. For example, the weather in Bogota.
Very good. To come to rest.
To come to rest.
Would you be surprised if you were walking across a park and a bird came and settled on your shoulder?
Oh, I'd be so surprised if I were walking across a park and a bird came to settle on my shoulder.
Good. To give by law.
To give by law.
Do you think that when a man dies, he ought to settle all his money and property on his eldest child, or do you think he ought to divide it among all his children?
I think that when a man dies, he ought to give it to his youngest daughter.
Okay. To form together.
To form together.
Are there any mountains in your country where snow settles on the top, even in the middle of summer?
No, no. There aren't any mountains in my country where snow settles on the top even in the middle of summer. In winter, yes, but not in the middle of summer.
Okay. To calm.
To calm.
What's the best thing to do to settle one's stomach?
The best thing to do to settle one's stomach is to take a pill, powder, or drink a lot of water.
Very good.
And take a rest, a nap.
Okay. What does the teacher say to the pupils when they are making too much noise?
The teacher says to her pupils when they're making too much noise, "Come on now, children, settle down."
Very good. Vote.
Vote.
How old must you be before you can vote in the local elections?
In my country, you must be 18 years old before you can vote in local elections.
Good. Medicine.
Medicine.
Do you take medicine when you have a cold?
I usually take a Vicks tea when I'm cold.
Okay. Nurse.
Nurse.
Nursery.
Nursery.
What am I doing?
You're nursing your chin?
Yes. Would you like to be a nurse?
I wanted to be a nurse when I was a child, but no, I wouldn't want to be anymore.
Okay, why not?
Because I think they have to work a lot and they do get underpaid.
Yes. Have you ever had to nurse a sick person?
Yes, I've had to nurse a sick person before in my life.
Okay, what's a nursery?
A nursery is a place for very small children to play in.
Very good. Unemployment.
Unemployment.
What is unemployment?
Unemployment is when there's not enough work for everyone.
Good. What happens to the unemployed in your country?
The unemployed in my country get a lot of money from the government to not work. And thus a very big incentive to never look for work ever again.
That's great. Take off. Take off.
Take off.
Land.
Lands.
What do passengers have to do when a plane takes off and lands?
Passengers have to put their safety belts around themselves when a plane takes off and lands.
Good. Idiom number 20. Whoa. Drop a line.
Drop a line.
It means to write a short letter.
Okay.
For example, don't forget to drop us a line whilst you're away.
Okay.
What does the idiom drop a line mean?
The idiom drop a line means to write a short letter.
Very good. Give me an example, please.
An example would be, why didn't you drop us a line to tell us you were coming?
Very good. End of lesson 117.